As a sailor, I wonder if you have an awareness of how important the mental side of your performance is when you race. I wonder if you've ever had the experience of going into a regatta and performing way below your potential, getting beat by sailors who had no business beating you. And maybe in training, you're awesome. You know, it reminds me of a European sailor I worked with, a 16-year-old by the name of Ferdy. And Ferdy was great locally when he raced in the regattas around his country. He was unbelievable. He had confidence. He was always coming out on top. He was unbeatable. But then when he went to bigger regattas, when he went outside of that little pond that he lived in, something interesting happened to him. He lost his confidence. He started getting nervous. He physically tightened up, and his race performance reflected that. He was not able to perform the way he was capable of. And when his mother called me up, he was pretty discouraged, and she was pretty frustrated because she knew he had the potential to race well, but he was getting intimidated. So Ferdy and I talked about the importance of controlling your focus both before and during your race. Ferdy's focus when he raced well was where it needed to be. It was kind of external. It was on the currents, the wind, a broader view of where the other boats were, and on what he was doing in his own boat. He wasn't thinking very much. He was just reacting based on all that information that he was taking in. And when he did that in training or the smaller regattas, he raced great. That all changed when he went to these bigger races. His focus instead went to who was in the other boats, how good they were, what the outcome of this race might be, what if he didn't do well again. And he was totally in his head while he was in the boat. And here's the problem. If you're racing and you're thinking, you're not paying attention to the subtle cues that are coming at you with wind and current and changes in current and wind that will determine what you should be doing. So we taught Ferdy how to get better in control of his focus and how to stay calmer as a result of that. And as he was able to integrate those changes, as he was able to develop these mental skills, his performance changed. He was able to produce under pressure. He was able to go to these bigger regattas and sail like he knew how to sail. Now, whether you work with me one-on-one to work on these, because I'm assuming as you listen to me talk, you can relate to these issues, or you work with some of my training material, my audios, my workbooks, because over the years I see these issues, I see these problems, I see this same kind of problem focusing with a lot of sailors. And so I've developed training material for athletes like yourself to be able to overcome them. So whether you work with me or the training material, that's your choice. What I would recommend, if you had questions, you give me a call, but I can promise you one thing. If you want to reach your potential as a sailor, if you want to race at the highest level, you can't just train physically. You can't just put the time in on the water. You also have to train your mind. You have to train your focus, your ability to stay calm under pressure. And when you do that, you will truly reach your potential as a racer.